It's going. Okay. Alrighty then. This is Sarah. I am at Mark's bench right now. You might be able to tell because of the perspective. All of my stuff's over there, and I'm over here. The benefit of this is that I have more workspace. There's a Metcal soldering station above me, circa the 80s, I think, right? And then there's a Mark behind me at his computer doing work, and he's going to be my lifeline tonight. The goal of the evening is that I solder 10 of these boards up with older components, minus the LEDs because I do not have those yet. I have to order them from someplace else. These are the Bulbis boards, so this is the brain that's going to go inside all of the jellies that I'm going to, I don't know, eventually have instructions for on my blog so that you, if you have a 3D printer at home, can build one yourself. And if you buy one of these guys, you can make it twinkle and do fancy things like mine does. Anyhow, the thing that I have set up for tonight is a macro camera, which Mark bought, and it's really, really crappy. It's like, I don't know where he found it, but it weighs like an ounce, and it's like the thinnest, shittiest camera I've ever had in my hands. And I'd pick it up right now, but it took me forever to position it, so I'm not gonna do that. I am instead going to check and see if there's anybody in the chat right now, which there's not. So I'm talking to myself, which is okay. In that case, I'm gonna go grab my phone real quick and get all of my things situated around me so that once I get into the solder doing, I don't have to like move ever again. Right, Mark?
Right.
Woo! I'm back. Anyhow, so I have a box here that's filled with all my components that I need to put this board together. Oh, hey Rob! Interesting lighting. Am I being interrogated? Ooh, I wish. Rob says I look like I'm being interrogated. No, that's just the bench lighting that's above me doing. Alright, I've got a empty discard box that's going to hopefully be filled with all of the stuff I've put on these boards in another minute, and then I think Mark's going to end up doing the brains because that's what Mark does. And then, yeah. Anyhow. I feel like I should grab a beer or something. Do you guys have a beer? It's 5 o'clock, right? It's gotta be 5 o'clock everywhere else on the face of the earth. Right, Mark?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna switch the camera down to my, my bench view, which is right here. And this is, again, the really crappy... Is this from China, Mark?
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. China microscope.
Okay, this is a piece of shit.
I'm on the fence of returning it.
We're gonna test it out during this stream, and if it doesn't work very well, then Mark's gonna do something with it, like put it in a box and throw it out the door, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh man, look at that! Okay, so this is going to be my bench view for the rest of the evening, at least until Mark gets hungry enough that he kicks me off the computer and says, "Bitch, make me some stir fry," in which case I'm gonna get up and we're gonna cook dinner because neither one of us has eaten. Actually, it's a lie. Mark's probably had food today. I haven't. Mark had a snack.
Breakfast.
I, on the other hand, what have I had?
Biscuits.
I don't know. I don't know if I've had anything.
I have a brown one's cooking.
Ooh.
Great for
Ooh. It's almost 11 there? Really? Where are you? That it's almost... Oh, wait, not 11. I'm sorry. That would be, what, 9? I don't I can't do that fast in my head. Tweezers. Okay, so the thing that sucks about this camera is I can only use it if it's hooked up. I can only use it if I have Mac's photo booth thing open. So that's annoying. Okay, so I have to have the photo booth app open in order for me to actually actively use this camera. And that being said, it's really close. It's like hovering on top of the piece I'm soldering, and since it is macro, I can't really like move this thing around a lot, which is something I do when I'm soldering shit. Like I tend to grab the piece and kind of position it freely. So I'm going to, without further ado, I would zoom out and show you this whole board, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. This is a Bulbis, and there's a bunch of pieces. Really tiny pieces. Wow, is this what the pads really look like?
Yes.
They look so shitty.
They're called heat leveled. So they put like actual tin or solder on it, and then they use an abrasive thing to like brush it off hot.
But there's like, they're almost bridged in a bunch of places. Do you see
Where?
that? Well, they're like between the middle pad and all
That's
the little...
their grounds. That's normal. That's the traces.
Oh,
That's part of the design.
they look like...
Yeah, when you see that, it's usually that's on purpose.
Wow,
It's not crappy.
this looks so bad.
But yeah, you can get them in gold plated, which is real expensive.
Wow.
That's tin plated.
Cool. That's amazing.
Crazy.
Crazy, man. Alright, so I'm gonna start on this. Wait, let's zoom in on the name. Where's the name? What am I doing? Where is it? Oh, good heavens. Wait. Oh, man. That's my finger. There it is, Bulbis. Oh, God. No. Fuck. Oh, God. I am so bad at this. Ta-da! Okay. Alright. This is my list of materials right here. I'm going to be referencing this, and I'm just going to kind of blow through all of these. I think I wasn't going to do them one at a time, so this kind of, the macro lens doesn't really make sense for this stream, right, Mark?
Wait, what?
Since I'm doing 10 at once and I can't possibly zoom in on all of them.
I would do the first board and then maybe switch your camera or something to your Logitech.
That's
But
annoying.
maybe switch between the two just to show people that you have the ability to kind of solder.
I don't.
You have a kind of ability.
They know I don't. They know they know I can't solder. There's like, Rob knows I can't solder right now. Like he's like, I've seen what you're capable of, and it's scary. 100. So I have 100k ohm. That's one thing. That's the R2. Alright, so if I locate R2 on my board, I'm fairly confident that this needs to go on all of the R2s, so I might go through and do all of them real quick. I might just switch the camera down to like the general overview. What do you think I should do? Here, let's put one part on the board, and then I'm going to switch the whole damn camera. What do you think, Mark?
I don't know. It'd be nice to have a camera that's slightly further away. Maybe I'll just look for a cheap USB camera that has a macro, not a microscope, but a macro type function.
I can't. These things. Can you see which one says C1 and which one says C2?
I would put out the board layout.
Oh man. Alright.
Yeah, let me see.
There's nothing on it. Wait, I'm opening up the PCB thing. Spawn.
Yeah, open up your Eagle and then use that as your reference. A lot of times I'll print that out and then that's my map. Because yeah, the silk screen's so small on those, you just lose it. May as well just turn off silk screens.
That's not the right thing. Okay. Sure. Anybody else who's around, how are you all doing tonight? I guess I can switch down to the, this is far more, wait, nope, that's me. Ah, there we go. Okay, so if I switch down to, this is my board right here. Oh man. Okay, so C2. That's R2. I need, where the fuck is R2? Oh man. Do you see R2? Okay, so I'm doing R2. Ah, there we go. Wait, no, that's not it either. Shit. Ah, there it is. Okay. R2 is this guy next to this transistory thing right here. In the very center of the board on the left. Okay, that's easy enough. I can do this. I'm gonna do that to all of them. It's happening. Nobody can stop it from happening. That's... yeah, this setup's not gonna work. Okay, so note to self, before I do another soldering stream, there we go. I'm most certainly going to get a new macro camera, or Mark's going to get a new macro camera, because this is part of his shtick. So Mark is going to be streaming soon, like specifically PCB stuff, board making, doing. And he needs a macro camera to do that. So that's more of like, he bought this to be like part of his gig, and it's not going to work out for him though, right? So you should send it back. Right, Mark?
Wait, what? Yeah, I'd like to send it back. You could get crap.
Well, you're the one who's going to be using it for your stream.
It's...
Right?
Yeah, I'll probably go find something that has that'll do microscope. Like, I don't know if I need a microscope.
Yeah.
It's a nice tool, but I don't think I ever will need that. I'm gonna get something with a little bit more of the PC board.
More vibrancy.
Just a camera with a macro.
You can see it nice. So you can totally see how I didn't get any solder on that pad just now. There's a little lump of... God, that looks terrible. Wow, so this is like the stream of the ugly-ass realities of SMT soldering. Jeez. Mark.
What?
It's ugly. This is kind of like me being naked.
I didn't see that.
It is. Like, everyone gets to see how terrible. Wow, this camera's in my way.
It's horrible.
Alright, gotta tack it down. Right?
Yep.
That's what Mark taught me. That's actually not too bad.
The man's got me.
Wow, there's words on that?
What are the words on? Oh yeah, resistors have a code, right? Whoa. I think that's a 10 ohm?
100K?
Oh.
It says...
I think the smaller ones have a special code that doesn't mean the numbers anymore. Makes any sense?
Nope, it does not, sir.
Most resistors have a code, like, let's say, for example, a 1K resistor usually says 102. And what that means is the first two numbers are part of the value. So 1 0 is 10. And then the third number is how many more zeros to add to that number.
There, I did it. Look at that.
So 1K is 1 0 and then 2 more zeros. 1 0 0 0, 1000. And then a 10K is a 103. Right? 4.7K resistor would be a 472. So 47 and 2 zeros is 4,700 ohms. So that is not that.
What?
That is not that. Well, no, that's that. But that particular resistor does not number the resistor that way.
Okay.
Because I don't know why.
Okay.
Because they're jerks.
Alright, R2. 100K.
Are you just doing one?
I did one.
Oh, so you're
not going to do all of them.
Okay.
I'm doing 10 boards right now.
Keep track of the parts so you don't have to.
I'm not.
Yeah, like if I'm doing 10 boards, I'll put 10 of the resistors out. Do them all.
Yeah.
Rob.
It's just me and Rob. Cool. Alright, I'm going to move this out of the danger zone. And I'm going to put this other board in the danger zone. Oh man. Holy shit, this is disorienting. There, screw it. I'm just going to spill a whole bunch of these things onto Mark's bench, and I'm going to search for them eventually. Here, let's like 1, 2. Do you have like a cup or something that I can put SMT components in?
There's a yellow tray.
Okay.
Just don't put it.
Okay. Oh god.
The 3D print like a little sorting tray.
Shit.
That'd be a good project.
Is anyone else in here? I don't think so. I didn't really sell this very, I don't know, well on Twitter. I was like, hey guys, I'm going to solder really terribly. Everyone's like, yeah, that's nice, Sarah. You go and do that. You have fun with that terrible soldering. Great, Mark. Oh well. At least this will get my mind off of, like, the terrible world. Terror bead. It's terrorific. Oh god. No. And we'll never find it again. This sucks. How do these people do this with like a macro thing? Is this what surgeons do?
Yep.
Yeah? That's terrible. It's on there, though. Wow! This sucks because I get to see how terrible I am at this up close. Yeah, Rob, you are alone. You're the only person in here. What are you up to in your neck of the woods? Are you assembling stuff too? Are you bored and lonely, like me and Mark? What? I can't see where the hell that's going. So when Mark does this, and Mark actually knows what he's doing and will be like far more entertaining to like witness doing this than I. This is... Screw this thing. You know what? Mark. Screw this thing. This is hell.
Unplug it.
What? What?
Unplug it.
This, okay, so this is what it looks like. This is a bad...
If you see that on Amazon.com under USB microscopes, don't buy it and look for my awful review of it.
I know, it's probably not that bad of a tool. Alright, I'm gonna use the real thing, and I'm gonna move this. See, this is why we have this solder reel thing. So this makes an excellent camera holder, so I'm gonna pull this thing that's looking at me right now off, and it's gonna watch my terrible soldering, because it's not really that bad of a camera in and of itself. It just, I don't know, it's not a macro, but you can still see what I'm doing, and in a much larger swath than the macro lens was going to allow for. So I'm going to move you guys down, 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 down. That's my lap. There we go. Ooh. So now we've got shadow. There's all the boards. There's my children. It's not too terrible. Alright, and then I'm gonna redo something to that. There I am. That's not too bad. Weird. Oh, good heavens. Alright. See, the enthusiasm's real. It's extreme enthusiasm. There we go, there's the chat. All my stuff has been borked. We'll leave it like that. It's good enough. Okay, bored and lonely? Yup, I'm getting ready to head to bed to read for a while, but thought I'd watch you for a bit. Aw, what are you reading? It's good that you read. I'm bad about that. I never read. Okay. I'm assuming that's where that's gotta be. Alright, I'm gonna refocus this guy because that is very obviously out of focus. Camera settings. Where have you gone? Advanced autofocus. There we go. Much better. That I can deal with. Alright. Anyhow. So we are, I don't know, we're cooking stir fry tonight, right? Alright. Stir fry it is. Alright, since that I can see, you can pretty much see what I'm doing now. I'm just gonna kind of prime all of these in a row and just do them. Because that macro thing was gonna take forever. I want to actually get these done and then move on to the next, like, order of business tonight, which is cooking dinner, and then, the hell else do I need to get done? Do you know? Do I know? I have a list. I think I was gonna prime a canvas, right? Woo. Halo. Yeah, these things are super tiny. Cool. Sweet, let me know what you end up picking. Okay, so these two have them. That. Oh god, these guys are floating away. Okay, so they're like right here. I'm gonna move this over so that I can see it. Where can you guys see these things? There we go. Okay. Oh, his? Ah, I can turn this thing off, I guess. Oh, sure. I'll get my fan. That was there's a fan that pumps the bad air out, but I can get the silent fan because it does about as good of a job as this thing does. It's the air evacuator that sucks all the fumes out that Mark kind of like jerry-rigged together out of like a box and whatever the rest of this stuff is, right?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just reorganizing everything. Okay, I'll be right back. Get the fan.
Fan.
Oh, you got it on?
There it is.
Oh man, you're good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Back to work. Which way's the suck way?
There's an arrow on the plastic somewhere that ends cool. The way it sticks in the air. You can feel it. It blows toward the label. Between the label.
We'll see.
Are you not good at things?
I'm not good at anything.
Yeah, it's blowing.
Alright.
Yeah. It's sucking.
Alright. So this is going to be my filtration system. It's about as good as the other one. I think it's actually better.
Yeah, I'm going to revamp the whole system with this quiet fans.
Quiet for the win. Alright guys, back to work. Alright, I'm going to finish putting... God. I'm going to finish putting juice on my pads. I'm going to finish juicing my skids. I think I did finish juicing my skids. Oh, nope, I didn't. It's a lie. Okay, now I finished. All the pads have been stickied. I can now finish putting my little pieces on top of them, which is these guys right here. Okay. Oh man. These are all in like the incorrect orientation. Or are they?
What? What are you doing?
Soldering.
Oh, you just, yeah. Think them all at the same direction.
Well, they are. They're just not the right same direction. What? Don't mock me. Don't make fun of me. Don't do that. Are you ready to put some brains? Some teeny tiny brains on some boards, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're gonna help me? You're gonna be like the most helpful solder doer ever?
No.
Okay, I'm moving it in place. Should stick. So eventually, like once I get good and tired of this, and Mark puts the tiny brains on these boards, I'll take the camera, which is you guys, and I'll show you the jellies that I've been working on. Maybe you guys will have some suggestions as to, I don't know, I've got some problems with the motion. I'll figure them out, but if anyone like sees something that's blaringly obvious and I don't see it, then by all means call it out or make a suggestion. As always, I appreciate the feedback. Right, Mark? I just like saying that. Right, Mark? Mm. Oh god. Don't get your taster stuck in the fan. I guess there's this. This might help. There we go. This might be a better mic, or it might cause new problems. I don't know. I'm sure you guys will tell me if that actually helped anything. I'm using the mic on the camera versus the mic on the laptop. Five more of the little guys, and that should be it for this baggie. My R2s. Right, Mark?
Yep.
What are you working on, by the way?
I am doing something that's people will like scratch their head over.
Okay.
It's a long story.
Oh, but for work or for home or
For
what?
me, it's a personal fun project.
Oh, you can explain it if you want.
I'm in between PC boards. I probably should be doing some other things, but so last week there was some blog article about some guy who is attempting to rewrite SimCity 2000 in JavaScript. So that's interesting and all. And he actually has a screenshot of it. So he actually read the SimCity data file and then showed a screenshot of his code rendering the whole city, right? And it's his code, not Maxis's code. So I took a look at it. I was fascinated by it. He put the code up on GitHub, and I don't write JavaScript, but I write Java. So the thing that occurred to me was this would be a fun project to take, is to fork somebody else's project, right? And then rewrite their code, their JavaScript into Java. And they're very similar, but there's a lot of differences. So I've been line by line going through this guy's code and rewriting each of the things in Java. And I'm about 70% of the way through before I think I can run it and see if I can read a SimCity file and draw that city on the screen. So it's completely for no reason other than my own. I like to code Java, so it's kind of like a mind exercise or a puzzle to solve. I did this with Doom last year.
But you didn't finish it.
I didn't finish it because I hit a really huge roadblock.
What if that happens with this?
Well, shit happens, right? It's for fun. It doesn't need to ever be finished.
Yes, it does.
So
fruition.
So in the Doom case, I took somebody published Doom's code from like 1996, and that was written in C.
What do I do with the extra one? I accidentally took one out.
What is it?
It's a resistor.
Oh, throw it away.
But it's.
They cost 0.001 cents.
It goes there now.
So Doom had published their C code for the original Doom game. I loved that game when it came out. So I grabbed the code and I'm like, God, this would be fun to rewrite in Java. And boy, was it fun. It took me 3 months to convert all the code over to Java. I got all the menus to run. So it runs like the original game. I used Java's MIDI functions to play the music. So that was cool. I got Java's sound functions to play the sounds. And then I got the menus to load. And all the way to the point of starting a game. And then the thing that threw me was they're using some really weird type code for their rendering. The way they determine how you render the view. This is early days of computer graphics. And I got stuck because I couldn't make heads or tails of how to get that to work. So I interpreted the code. I did what I could. But it doesn't run. Black screen, or it'll fail. It'll crash. So I'm kind of stuck there. I may just put that out there in the world and see if anybody else wants to poke at it.
These parts are done. So, R2 is done.
R2D2.
Do you have a Sharpie?
No.
Will you grab me a Sharpie?
There's a whole jar of Sharpies in front of you.
What? Oh. Hush.
So yeah, this year's game is SimCity 2000, and my goal is to get it to I have multiple goals. I want to get it to do a screenshot of a city, right? That'll prove that I can read the file and draw it all, and have enough Java there that renders the thing. But what I want to do then is fork off of that and not actually make it SimCity, but I want to look at things that I would enhance or change and make my own city game that uses all of the objects I wrote as a basis. So that's like one of my little side projects.
Wait, this says LEDs.
Well, why did you pick it up?
These are UV LEDs.
What are you trying to do?
They're UV LEDs.
Yeah, are you going to put those in?
Yeah.
Well,
I thought I didn't have any.
No, you bought. How many did it say on the bag? There might be only 5 left.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have enough for like less than 1 board. So.
Well, shit. Okay.
Yarp.
You can do these later.
Yarp. 100K. Didn't you already do this?
Yeah, I just did 100K.
Are you sure? I hope it works.
What?
You sure that wasn't a 10 ohm that you did?
This says 100K ohm. This also says 100K ohm. These both say 100K ohm.
I wonder why I bought 2 bags. Oh, I probably just threw an extra bag in there. I think that's the one I bought for you.
Okay.
No, that's for one of my boards. Okay, so, and I think we finally bought some, or we stocked up on them, or I filched them from work or something.
Okay.
All right. Keep going.
MOSFET.
That is your MOSFET. There's only one MOSFET on the board. It's hard to mistake for anything else.
It's the transistor-y looking thing?
Yes, the transistor-y looking 3-pin device.
The transistor-y looking thing. I'm gonna put it on the board. What's going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm guessing there should be 2 more left in here. Fair enough. Alright, kiddos. Alright, I know you can see this, so I'm gonna dump 8 MOSFETs onto my thingy. They're all gonna go down, down, down into a burning ring of fire. I still didn't finish that page from the other day, folks. I was drawing the other day, like one of my comic pages, and it's still not done yet, which is very bad of me. I'm very displeased with myself for not having that out, because I was supposed to finish it yesterday. Actually, no, I was supposed to finish that Tuesday. Okay. Back to work. Sarah. That's not what you do. You need the solder, and you need your heat stick, and you need to pick a pad, and you need to stick things to the pad. Right, Mark?
Yes, stick things to the pad.
So you have to put a little glob of hot. I gotta put a little glob of sticky hot on the tiny little pad. You gotta heat it up with your... Oh, there's too much. I have to remember to wipe. Don't forget to wipe, Sarah. Don't forget to wipe. So Mark got... Did you go get vegetables?
I did not. I've done nothing.
Oh, I mean, when do you want to eat dinner?
Eventually.
Conceivably at some point in time.
I should go get vegetables then.
Because when you come back, I'm going to make you put brains on all of these.
Had pasta by now.
Do you just want pasta?
No. Well, I would have settled for that. You know, a whole weekend of like barbecue stuff. Alright, fine. So you want another pepper?
Peppers and
some
snow...
kind of
snow
peas,
snappy snow
a
peas.
lemon.
Wait, what?
A lemon.
A lemon?
A fresh lemon.
For what?
Oh, that's where we're not doing the lemon thing. Sorry, my brain's fried.
Yep.
My brain still thinks we're making that lemon chicken. That would have been awkward. So I just need those 2 veggies. No, I'm not making that. You're stir frying. Alright, do you need any new sesame oil? Is your sesame oil...
It's probably fine.
Okay. Maybe I'll pick one up anyways, I don't know.
Is that on the pad?
Don't burn the house.
I don't know what I'm doing. Wait. Yeah, that was on the pad. Shit. Okay. These are so small, man. Is anyone else SMT solder? Wait, you're aware that the title of this stream is Drawing Gravity Road page 88. Really? Thank you for pointing that out, Rob. Yeah, I completely forgot to set up the thing. Can I change that now? Is that like a thing that I can actively edit while the stream is going on? Shit. Oh. That's not even the correct page. Soldering. There. There, I changed it. Thank you for pointing that out, Rob. How embarrassing. I don't know, I'm busy this week, applying for shit. Like, this is that time of year where I have to apply for all the stuff I want to do for the rest of this year and the next. That's like always January, February, turn into me panicking and writing about myself and filming like videos where I'm talking about stuff. So that's what I've been doing during the day. So it's been nothing fun as of the past like week or so. That's why I've kind of cooled it on the streaming and video doing. It's not the soldering iron. Oh man. Transistors? They are so tiny. Actually, no, these are MOSFETs, yes? Doesn't look like there's enough solder on that pad. I'll have to hit it again. Hit that board. So we aren't doing French Toast Friday tomorrow. I think we were just doing... I'm going shopping this weekend with my friend. I'm going leotard shopping. True story. Why leotard, you might ask? Why not? The summer is approaching. I figure that's going to be in vogue for raptors. At least this particular raptor. I don't know what my friend's going to get. But we usually do make out like bandits anytime we go to the store together. Even more so than me and my mom. But yeah, last week's French Toast Friday got a little bit out of hand. But I don't know, that's liable to happen on that particular day of the week. Alcohol and cooking can get very messy. We made a pierogi lasagna, which was very good. So if anyone ever wants to make a like Polish casserole with sauerkraut and like kielbasa and the pierogi filling, the potato pierogi filling, I highly suggest it. It's dense as a cinder block, but man, it will fill you up and make you feel good. But don't drink a whole lot to compensate for the fillingness, though. I don't recommend it. Because it did not work out well for us, and that is for sure. Uh-oh. I can't read that. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There it is. Leotards, is this the 80s? No, but I was born in the 80s, I guess. And oh yes, Adam Lewis, this is definitely brain surgery. Can't quite tell, they might be Boba Fett's. Yes, they are Boba Fett's. They're the Boba-iest Fetts. But yeah, I'm going I'm going leotard shopping with my, oh man, did that really do that? There, now it's back. I'm going leotard shopping with, my friend. I bought one leotard recently, and now I have to have much leotards in all of the colors, shapes, sizes, and varieties. Or at least one other. I don't know. I'm gonna try and find one that's, silver, I'm thinking. I need a silver leotard. I don't know what you guys are doing on whatever, Saturday, Sunday, whenever we're going, but I will be leotard shopping. I'm going to be taking a break from all of this board soldering pandemonium right here. So these boards that I'm making right now, not all of them are going to go into jelly prototypes that I'm working on. At least a few of these will actually get sold. So once I put the Bulbis board up on my Tindy store, these are going to be the ones that are going out. Don't worry, Mark will definitely give them a look over to make sure that they're kosher, and, you know, we'll test them, of course. But these are actually little art brains that are going to go out into the wee world and hopefully make it into other jellies all over the place. All over I would say the world, but I don't have international shipping costs figured out on my store yet, which is kind of shitty of me, but I don't want the shipping to cost more than the actual board itself, because that's fucking ridiculous. Unfortunately, that's kind of a reality right now. Alright, so I need 2 more FETs, and then I can move on to the next thing. There should be enough on that pad. Alright. 2 more baby pieces. 1, 2. Okay. Now these guys get to go in my discard pile. There's actually not that much on this board. I mean, there are like a whole bunch of like caps lined up there that Mark's gonna have to dig out of a box from somewhere eventually, but there's at least 2 more spools in my bin next to me that I can stick on here before he does that. Tonight's gonna be another tea night for sure. I had my 5 o'clock beer today, but man, that's not wanting to stick on that board. Rude. I might not have enough sticky juice on the pad. Cool. Oh. No CNC programs into Minty. I haven't done, this isn't a Minty brain yet. I will get to the Minty one, the one for the drawing one. When I do the second revision of the marshmallow, it will be intended for a vibrating drawing version of the baby noodle, but I'm not quite there yet. I have one more board coming in from, I think Seed Studio, like after the Bulbis. There's the Eye of Toast, which is my next project, and then once I get those up on Tindy, then I'm gonna probably do the Minty, the Doodle Feet vibrating brushbot brain board, but I haven't designed it yet or anything, or even really addressed what revisions I'm going to make to the marshmallow at that time. It does need a button, an on-off button, I decided. I'll stick it somewhere, but not being able to turn the board on and off and just having the battery run out every time you want it to be on is kind of a pain in the butt. That was like the one piece of criticism I got from pretty much everybody. They're like, we need a way to turn this guy off. And I was like, okay, so it's gonna happen. Oh man. But yeah. Leotard shopping. man. Okay. They're all on. Time to butter the skids. I gotta butter the skids, and then I can move on to the next piece. And I don't know if I can actually get the... Oh, can I squeeze this around? Oh, that'd be so nice if I could. I'm trying to, like, jockey the microscope into place. No, that's not gonna work. Damn. That's okay. I can use my eyes. The microscope's nice. I'm getting acclimated to it. Like, I used to never use it because I was incredibly stubborn, but it actually is kind of a nice tool to have. I never used the microscope when soldering until I met Mark, because he's a professional and I'm totally not. But since the tool's available to me, I really do need to take advantage of the tool. I think I'm doing this. There's like a giant bead of solder just sort of welling up. I know that's not supposed to happen. Mark solders every day. I feel like I have to keep like pointing this out. It's really difficult for me to not defer to him to do a lot of this because he does do it a lot faster and a lot better than I do. And it's a very bad habit that I need to break. So this is me just sort of buckling down and just doing part of my due diligence as a robot maker. Part of making robots is, I don't know, you just have to do brain surgery once in a while. It's a requirement. It's a necessary evil. So these little brains will eventually be 10 functioning jelly babies, which is awesome. That's like a very exciting thing. Like, this is gonna be life, guys. And the jelly coat isn't quite where I would like it to be yet, but it's getting there. It works. Like, it works 1-to-1. It hasn't been, like, honed or anything yet, which is what needs to happen next. And by honed, I mean fine-tuned. It needs to be... Ooh, that one kind of did something weird. Eek. Ah! That one did not get pressed. Remember to wipe! And again, yeah, I am gonna try to get that oil painting going this weekend, since I'll have the time to make a trip over to the art store. Like, the actual legit art store for gesso and paint and stuff, and I can, like, pick up some new fresh brushes, and then I can get going on that. And again, I'm gonna reiterate this over and over again, but I'm really excited to start the self-portrait and oil, because I'm gonna get to be Bob Ross. So I'm gonna do streams like this where I'm gonna talk to you guys, and I'm gonna be like talking about how to oil paint, which is something that I know a hell of a lot more about than what I'm doing right now. Kind of. I mean, it's been a while, but there was a time in my life when all I did was like traditional ass like painting and drawing and stuff. I was a lot more analog person. So it'll be fun to go back to that. And it'll be fun to take you guys with me, because, I don't know, it's a side of myself that I don't get to see that much. I know Mark doesn't either. I mean, honestly, nobody does. No one gets to see Raptor in the Wild oil painting. Picture of herself nursing her robot. Kind of. Close enough. Ass painting? Wait, what? Ass painting? Oh, Lord Grease, Earl of Maggot is here. You haven't missed anything. I'm soldering a bunch of boards together. These are jelly brain boards. This is the Bulbis board right here that I'm just putting components on, and when Mark gets back from the grocery store, he's going to put the actual like brain that goes on this pad right here. He's going to put those on cuz they're a bitch to get on there. I should probably try one, but then I'm going to defer to him cuz it's not like I know what I'm doing or anything. Not with a package that small. Tee. Ooh, is that crooked? I can't tell. It's making a giant bead of solder. Bad raptor. I feel like I'm just scorching everything. Did everybody have a good Valentine's Day? Because I just kind of sat and worked all day, and that was it. We didn't do anything. I mean, we went out the night before with my parents and had a fancy dinner out, but on the actual, like, day of, we just kind of stayed in and worked, both him and I, which is fine. I mean, it's just a day, but did anybody do anything epic, like have a fun date? Orgy, I don't know. Whatever you kids are doing these days. That should be good. I think I did all of them. There's absolutely no way to be sure. I'll look at all of these under the microscope after I'm done. I just wanna, I don't know, do as much as I can. At some point I'm gonna grab the camera and I'll show you can kind of see the jellies hanging up behind me, but I'm gonna show you these guys. Like, I have a bunch of revisions and nothing's quite working yet, as usual. Paint happy little trees. I totally will. I mean, not trees, but like, I'll be doing the happy little tree thing. Ha! Adam says I should try and sign the chips with an image. Like, on the silicone level? I mean, I know somebody who does know how to do that. I do not, however. Ha! Lord Grease says that he had pizza and weed with his significant other. That sounds like an excellent night. We went out and had dinner with my folks and ate a bunch of food and had a martini and then came home and then just, I don't know, we probably went back to work knowing us. As you do. I don't know what this is. Oh, 4.7. This is a 4.7K thing. Which is R4 and 5. Alright, I'm going to defer to my other view real quick. Oh man. And you see R4 and R5 are right here. which are these two right here. Okay. Easy enough. Oh, that's me. Okay, there we go. 4 and 5. Gonna do it. So I need 10 of these. Good thing I have like a giant reel, right? Jeez. So I guess Mark bought these back in like the 80s or 90s for like $1 or something. That's what that says. Just let them spill out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be good for now. We'll just keep going for the time being. Alright. Grease my skids. It's time to grease my skids. Alright, so I'm gonna go around, put a little bit of my solder on all the little pads. R4 and R5. The hard part of this board is going to be, so you see all those little pads that are around the outside perimeter? Actual wires connect to those pads, and the wires connect to these satellite boards that each contain one RGB LED. And there are 6 of those. So for this kit, you'll actually need to solder your wire to those satellite boards and then connect the satellite boards to these perimeter pads. It's not difficult to do. It just takes time, patience, and maybe a microscope. Not necessarily, but that does help. But that's a process in and of itself, and that whole process accounts for the nervous system of the jelly. So that the little sensor that's on this brain board can control the lights, make them twinkle all pretty like. Ah! Mark's back. Mark, do you want me to cook while you put brains on the brain thing? Well, I cooked dinner. Do you want to put brains on the brain pads?
Sure. Not live.
Not live? No, you gotta do it live.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Well, then you gotta wait for me to finish.
Let me do one right now, and then tell everybody goodbye. Yeah.
I gotta finish the rest of the components. It's happening. Don't worry. Before I go, I'll show you guys the jellies real quick, just so you see what I'm working towards. And I'll talk to you real quick about the mechanical issues that I'm having. Again, there should be a link in the description of this video to the Discord. Like, I have a Discord server now, and if anyone wants to talk at me or has, like, ideas outside of the stream, you can totally, like, I don't know, just say hi or bounce them off of me, like, in between these sessions. I always appreciate feedback, or just, I don't know, sometimes we talk about random weird stuff in there. It's kind of nice. It's a good thing. It's a nerd chat for us nerd people. Or it's just me talking about Breath of the Wild right now, because that game's awesome. Not that I've been playing it all lately. Like, I literally have not. It's been all Mark. I think Mark's farther along than I am at this point. Actually, I'm sure of it. So I think after I cook this stir fry, this elusive stir fry, that he went and got vegetables for just now, I'm going to finish that page that I was working on the other day, which isn't page 88 of Gravity 9. It was actually page 89 of Gravity Road. Did I say Gravity? It wasn't page 88, it was page 89 that I just finished, or I'm about to finish. So, for whatever reason, my streaming thing has not updated the title of the broadcast for like two streams now, which is kind of concerning, because last time I'm pretty damn sure I updated the title to, oh god, I just launched that, to say the page name, the correct page name, and it did not do my bidding, which I'm not happy about. But then again, on Twitch, I don't think I've updated the name of the stream ever, because I just don't go on Twitch. So conceivably, like, my videos are up there, but they all have the exact same name, because I don't care about them as of right now. That's very bad of me. Bad Raptor. I don't know, what are you guys talking about down there? I'll check in a minute. Oh god. Move over, fan. Okay, so that was... Alright, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I need 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 more of the 4.7k ohm, whatever's... Is it k ohm? 4.7k? Yes, 4.7k. So I need 8 more of these little doodads. And I can move on to whatever's left. So it's 1... Oh. Tape. Bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hi, honey.
Hi.
Mark made it back from the store safely.
Nobody touched my butt.
Nobody touched Mark's butt. Mark is very sad that no one touched his butt. I mean, if you went to the store and no one touched your butt, wouldn't you too be very sad?
Most people are happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mark, however, is very sad. He expects that sort of attention, right? Aw, from the store? Is that what you and Shane do?
If Shane's there, then I get a certain type of attention. Sorry, where did you slip there?
Affectionate? Affection attention?
We talk about, what is it, it's not Digimon.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
What's Yu-Gi-Oh cards? He wants to start a business selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yes.
So I give him advice about setting up websites and things. And he wisely decides not to do that at this time.
Yeah?
Because he realizes what a bad business decision that would be. So, yeah.
Everything's a bad business decision. Life is a bad business decision. I need some tea. Like a tea addict right now. I get this really good lemon tea from the lemon tea store. The tea monger. The spice and tea trader. Yeah? It's like lemongrass, lemon something, some other type of lemon thing. Ginger, and then like some other thing that I can't remember right now. But it's absolutely fucking crack. It's delicious. And luckily, like, if I fill up one tea baskety thing that you put loose tea in, I can use that like 3 or 4 times without having to add more of the tea to it, so a little bit of it goes a really, really long way. And that's been my drink of choice in lieu of beer these days. I mean, I usually have my beer at 5, but I don't know. That's it. I don't like just continue to casually drink and work like we used to back in the day. Mark does. Because Mark's Mark, and you can't take the mark out of the mark, right?
What?
I said I love you.
Oh, okay.
Alright, Mark's gonna do a brain. Do you want to show people how to do the brain?
Sure.
Oh god, that one totally leaped up.
Tombstone it?
What?
Did it tombstone?
What does that mean?
And it stands up on one end.
Kind. Yep, it tombstoned. It gopher-headed. I don't know. You too could be one of the lucky owners of one of these boards. Eventually. Right, Mark?
Yes. Purchase yours now.
Whee! I have like nothing interesting to talk about. Are we cooking anything tomorrow? I mean, it's not like a French Toast Friday or anything, but... Do we have any, like, epic meals planned?
No. We can, I want to barbecue something.
What do you want to barbecue?
We haven't done a steak in a while.
Yeah?
We could make chicken wings. We could make chicken nuggets like the ones we did on Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
We can make them not...
That's a good idea.
With the balls, we can just make,
yeah, just the chicken
wing
and then
style.
And then I can do the wraps with the blue cheese.
Yeah, and you can do a wrap with those or just eat them.
Okay, let's do that then.
Probably fry some French fries. That would be fun.
So yeah, Tony mentioned coming over tomorrow instead. So.
But we could get those little small potatoes.
Yeah.
And fry those in
Deal.
butter.
Okay.
With some sage or dill.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
Dill would be good too.
And
okay.
then have the chicken with that.
Okay.
That would be so good.
Then we should do that.
Alright.
I now welcome you. Should I welcome you to brain these things?
Whatever you like.
Are you willing to do this?
Yeah, I'll do one. People get after that.
And I gotta check the chat because I haven't done that in a second. I'm just hitting the opposite pad with a little bit of heat to...
Yeah, nail all those down because this process heats up the board. Use everything. Flux it. Make it stinky, but it'll make it look nice.
I will leave the room if you decide to do any such flux.
Open that door again.
The fluxing is...
I may turn that fan on. Do you want to mute your channel?
We mean mute the channel.
Your microphone.
But you're going to be talking about what you're doing, so that doesn't...
That's true. Yeah, it's just what it is. Yeah, I need to get a better fan system.
Alright.
Throw some money at it.
I hit all of those with some tactical solder. Yes, sir?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to point out to you... Actually, I'm going to check the chat because I haven't done that in a minute. Hey, guys. Doing what, Adam Lewis? Oh, good night, Rob. Your Discord invite has expired. Oh, no. Okay. Here, guys. Wait, I have it. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. Invite people. Copy. And paste. There you go. Have fun. Good night, Rob. Enjoy your book. If you see this later, enjoy the book, enjoy the reading, whatever you end up picking. And I'm assuming, if Adam, if you mean by do at least one, you're talking to me. I'm not, because I'm going to fuck it up. That might be entertaining, though. You might like that, huh? Huh. Mark, should I do one?
Do one what?
One of the brains.
Maybe you should do that as your own thing. I'm hungry.
Mark, okay, he says Mark must do at least one. Okay, Adam.
Mark's gonna do it, and then Sarah's gonna get dinner started or something. You can stand here, I guess.
I'm gonna stand.
You need to end this podcast
after you're done.
Because food. Yeah, you can stand here and talk to me while I do it.
Okay, I'm going to Chris Kimball over his back.
Yes.
Like, serious, like, glower
Very
style.
judgmental glowering.
Okay, so I'm gonna position the one that you're gonna be doing. It's gonna be that one. So make sure that the camera can see you do that chip right there. See it? Mark?
Wait, what?
It's that one.
Oh, in the middle, okay.
That one right there.
Alright.
And then that's so you can see it on the laptop.
Right.
Alright, I'm turning you over to the expert brain solderer, which is Mark. And I don't know if I'm still, for whatever reason, doing this by tomorrow, which I really hope I'm not, but if I am, I might stream me attempting to do one of these brains.
It should be entertaining.
And it will be entertaining. And things will get wrecked. I can almost guarantee that. But here's Mark. So, I'll be right behind him with my pelvic bone pressed firmly against his back.
Alright. Okay.
I'm gonna wash my hands real quick.
Alright. I'm gonna start it. You just touched me with LED hands. Alright. Hi, people. I'm gonna put the processor on here. So it comes in a little box like this. Oh no, I'm getting content. What happens if you give Noodle a weapon? Oh, I'm gonna answer this one. What happens if you give Noodle a weapon? What do you think about Dangerous Angry Noodle? Oh my. We actually joke about that because we're playing Legend of Zelda right now, and the little walker things that are out there that you have to kill we call them Angry Noodles, and noodles with lasers would be bad, so that's never going to happen. Hi, Lord Grease Earl of Maggot. I hope your evening is good. Alright, I'm going to do this. So I'm opening this tray thing, and you can see that it's got 2 little chips left in it. And we're going to put it down here on the table. So this is, here's the chip that was in the box. So this is called a QFN. Instead of like little leads, it just has little pads on the edges, and you can see in the bottom like that, and it matches what's on the circuit board. So the thing in the middle is it's called a heatsink. It's attached to ground. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. It's attached to ground, and it's supposed to solder as well if you want your chip to run okay. And we're going to try to do that. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to have to line up the pin 1 next. Let me close my box. Legend of Noodle. Teach Noodle to play a video game. That's a great idea. I thought about proposing to Sarah that she should make Noodle Simon, where his legs light up the 4 Simon colors, and you're always wrong. So Noodle always wins. So maybe that will happen one day. Alright. This is a confined space, but we can do this. So the trick with QFNs is we're going to try to get a little bit of solder in the middle there so that this will stick. And I'm going to rotate this now to the dot. So you can see right on this corner right there, that's a dot that I put in the silk screen, and I match this dot up to this dot that's on the part. You can see the dot on the part, so just make sure they're oriented like that.
I'm going to add some solder to the pad and then attempt to line this whole thing up, and then I'll use a heat gun to actually melt or heat the board up enough to make the solder melt on the pads, and then we'll finish it with a soldering iron. So I'm gonna where's the there's the micro solder. The camera is mounted on the micro solder thing. That's just weird. Alright, so let's put a little bit of solder here. Nice. There's just a random SATA cable on my desk. I don't know where that came from. Alright. I'm gonna put some solder on this pad. I just want a little bit because I want the chip to sit down as far as possible. I'm gonna spread this out. So that's just a little lump. The chip won't sit flat now, but so I think I'm gonna flatten this out a little bit more. So, all right. So let's get the chip on there. And then I'm going to use my own microscope, and hopefully it doesn't bump the camera. Oh shit. Is that gonna... the camera's in the way of the microscope.
Maybe you can scoot it over.
Alright, let's see if we can make room for everybody here. The solder, that can go back. This is going to rotate around. Maybe that will work. Now let's get the light adjusted. Yeah. Alright. Alright, I got everything to fit. Alright. Let's get this.
Are you fluxing?
I'm not fluxing yet.
Are you fluxing it?
So I have the chip about where I want it. I have solder underneath the chip. I'm going to try to solder a couple of pins on the corners of the chip to anchor the chip and make it stay when I use the heat, the airflow. Otherwise it could just get off by enough that it won't stay there. So people are, you should mind the chat, honey.
I am I'm getting a baby.
Duct tape knives to Minty.
Duct tape knives?
Yeah, Daniel says duct tape knives to Minty. That would be great. Deadly Noodle Spawnling Minty the Conqueror. That's perfect.
This is Tomu.
How long does that solder stay malleable? Do you mean when it's heated or when it's like cold? The solder like cools off almost in about a second. It's solid again. Do it. Can't spell malleable.
I can't either.
Alright, I'm going to do this.
Minty's gonna watch.
Alright, I'm going to pick a random corner and I'm going to add a little bit of solder there. And then I'm going to use my tweezers. And I'm going to try to get this thing right on all the pads aligned. So I think I'm there. I'm going to hit that corner. Alright, I need to adjust this a little bit. The other side. Poor lighting here. There we go.
There's the extra board.
Okay, so I have one pin on that thing with a little bit of solder, and that'll keep the chip in place. And so I'm going to add solder to an opposite corner, probably 2 or 3 more pins. And then when I reflow this, everything will kind of like stay stuck. And then I can come back later and actually finish all the other pins. Could probably do them all now if I wanted. I don't want to make too much of a mess. So I got some solder. And I'll just do all my corners just for fun. Alright. I'm going to do this corner. And so by having the corners tacked is that when the solder's molten, the chip kind of has this surface tension thing happening. And since there's all the corner pins have a little bit of solder on them, the surface tension will actually pull them into a little bit of an alignment. It'll actually get on the pad probably slightly better. But if I didn't do that, I fear that I risk the chip just kind of scooting off. And then I have to remelt everything just to get it to go to the right place.
Hi, Maker Block.
Hi, Maker Block.
They're telling you to stay on target.
Is it scooting?
I can't.
Oh, is that our Star Wars reference? I think so. Alright, oh, because it's going off there. Alright. Alright, I tacked the corners of the chip. So now I'm gonna use my helping hand. This is gonna get weird. I'm gonna get.
This is good practice for your son.
I gotta clean this bench. It's like
A mess.
yeah, there's like a 6-inch square space of usable space left. There used to be a big, giant, not used bench, but now it has stuff. I've lost things on this bench, so.
Oh, Baby Noodle says hi, little grease.
Oh God.
No, don't launch the things.
All right, so, we need to relocate the camera because I need to get the heat gun underneath this.
That actually works, making a flying. I want a flying spot.
Can I do this?
A knife spawn with. Okay, sorry.
Is this gonna go? Does this thing autofocus?
What?
This camera.
Oh no, I turned off autofocus. Why?
Oh, I need something here.
Tape?
Get the tape. Let's see if that works. Oh my God, there's too much stuff here. All right, put that there. And then let's put the tape here.
I'll refocus it.
Oh, hold on. Oh, that's actually looks pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, you might have to refocus again. I mean,
get it where you
I
want
need to
it,
get some. Yeah, I need to get some space underneath the.
No big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Okay, these share a thing, so, I need to unplug the fan. Did you unplug the fan? Oh, your power strip's on, so
yeah.
We're good. All right. And then this gets all twisty. This is a reflow hot gun. It's a lot like the cheap hot guns, except, it's got this, focused, like jet nozzle on it, so it focuses heat, whereas I think the paint stripper style will still get as hot. It's just they are a little more diffuse on the heat. I think either one would work for what we're doing. Unlike a hairdryer, it's a very low velocity, high heat. Hairdryer has so much air force that, yeah, it would blow your parts off your board. So you probably don't want to reflow with a hairdryer. So I'm going to get this started, and I'm basically going to heat the board up until the pins melt. It's like, oh, we're not. Can you refocus that again?
Yeah.
There you go. I think we can go here. There we go. There we go. I'm actually going to use that to watch the solder change to molten. So here we go. So what I'm doing is I'm reflowing. I'm heating the bottom of the board, and therefore the whole board, but that keeps airflow off the top. And then the board should, in a minute, heat up enough to actually make all the solder melt on here, and then everything should kind of settle in. There it goes. I think I see it changing. There it is.
Yep.
You can see it twinkling.
That means it's wet.
And actual PC boards are, when they're soldered, they use a similar method. They run it through a conveyor belt in a hot oven, almost like those little ovens that heat your sandwich at Quiznos. It's that kind of thing. I think it's actually molten. I'm gonna call this done without overheating the board. So I just waited till solder was a little bit melty, and then I went about maybe 30 more seconds, and then I bring the heat away. And in factories, when they do the boards, they do that. They reflow the board. They bring the board up to temperature. They get it past the melting point, and they hold it there for about 30 seconds so that the whole board settles out into that heat. And then they immediately take all the heat away and let the board cool down. And then wherever the parts are in the molten little puddles, they stay there, and they cool down. So the board's going to be hot for a minute or two, but it should be soldered. I should have got it hot enough so that pad underneath, the hidden pad, got soldered and bonded to the chip. I don't think we're using the chip in a way that it's going to generate too much heat. So even if we never soldered that pad, the way we're using this chip, it probably wouldn't matter. Some things like MOSFETs and other things where you run a few amps through it, that would matter. But I think on this it probably isn't that important anyways. So, alright, so I think that's cooled down enough. Yeah, it's not that hot. Alright, so we're going to move this back to desktop mode. Oh god.
Actually, I'm going to set it up here, because I'm going to...
You going to move?
Well, I'm going to show them the
What do you-
jellies, and then I'm going to go cook, like I said.
I'm going to finish soldering the chip. Do you want to do that?
Yeah. Here,
So-
do you want me to... Sorry. I thought you were done.
Well, I'm going to do all the pins.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to finish soldering the actual raw pins. This needs to get turned, sorry. Alright. Oh, perfect.
Here you go.
Alright, so
Taser spawnling.
taser spawn.
Can you imagine if they had the little babies
Had little
taser
tasers?
feet?
Don't tell Will,
Ooh.
the taser daddy.
Taser daddy?
Oh, there it
Noodle
is.
has a taser daddy.
Alright, is that still a line? Yeah. God, it's weird getting everything.
There's this creepy face behind you that's just like...
It's like that scene in Aliens where it's
What?
going to eat Sigourney Weaver and she's like, ha ha
I
ha ha.
haven't seen it.
Oh, you should totally. You have not seen Aliens.
Nope.
There's something wrong with you.
I know.
Right, I'm going to put juice on this
Juice the pads.
because it's
Juice
these
pads.
pads are fine enough that just getting heat on there, they're really hard to solder individually.
Do you want to do the rest
And
of
so, no.
them?
Where's my... Okay, so the other thing I have, one of my secret ingredients is, this is liquid solder flux. It's like rubbing alcohol and flux mixed into, so it's really like a really thin syrup. The tip clogs really, you can see the tip here. The tip clogs, so I have to heat it up, and that's what smokes the room. But I heat the tip up a little bit,
No.
and then now the nozzle will flow, and I'm going to put a drop on the chip. So this makes the board really sticky, and we have to clean it later in alcohol. So it's the only downside of this, and I try to avoid doing that on certain projects because it means I have to clean the board. But on this case, that's just how it's going to be. So I'm going to... So one trick is once you have a lot of flux on a chip or any component, I can kind of go along a row of pins, and that flux keeps everything kind of like... it keeps the surface tension on the solder down to where I can run a row of pins and solder like 8 pins in about a second by dragging the solder across all of the pins like I'm doing right here. if I'm careful. Oh god. I can't. And then the solder flux is dark enough that I actually can't see some of these pins. I think I need more solder. This might turn into a bad science project here. There we go. I can see. This might take a couple of tries. Alright, I think I got most of them on that edge. Let me do this edge here. I don't know what flux is made of. I imagine it's like pine rosin or something. They call it rosin, so. A little more solder in here. This tip is wearing out. It's not as pointy as it used to be. I bought new tips. They're like $30 each on these Metcals. So, alright, I think I got that one. I'm going to do this side. So what I'll do later is I'll clean the board, I'll get all the flux off, and then I'll inspect the pins again and make sure I didn't bridge anything. Didn't miss any pins. The DFNs are really hard to solder. If you miss a pin, you know, if you don't get enough solder on a pin, it's hard to notice. And then, you know, you're trying to run your board doesn't run or whatever, and then you have to go back and like reflow the whole chip again until it works.
Mark,
What?
where's the rice?
The rice is in a big tub on top of the dryer. It's the big vessel.
Okay.
Maybe bring your measuring cup into the dryer room,
Okay.
but don't spill it everywhere, I guess. Don't make a mess.
Yes.
No messes. I think I got this. I think there's enough solder on that. Alright, it looks ugly, but it's soldered. I'm going to read some comments here. Maker Block asked, did Sarah ever pick up the cheap UV surface mount LEDs from Amazon? We looked at them, and they're actually 1206, and we're using 0603, so they're literally twice the size in each direction. So they're huge in surface mount terms. I don't think the price was all that much better than maybe Mauser. I don't know. I think they were a nickel a piece, which I guess that's good. But yeah, they were too big for this design. So rosin, Lord Grease thinks that the rosin is acid of some kind. I think it is. It's the acid cleans the metal and lets you get the solder to stick better. So I think it is an acid base. Or it's acidic, I guess you would say. Spondling with USB feet, that's an interesting idea. They could have 64 gig per foot. Alright, let's see. Sarah is off starting dinner. She has more parts to go on this thing. What's in the thing here? Is there some I can do? I think she burned through all the parts already. So I think we're short a few parts in the kit. Or I was, I know what I was doing. I was pilfering parts out of one of my other kits to get her thing running. So I may have to go find those later. So I think that's about all we can do for now. LEDs, we're short on those, but they're not needed to make this run. Her color sensor, I'm not sure where those are at. R3. I don't know what R3 is. What is R3? R3 is a 1K. I have 1Ks. I have a bag of 1Ks. Let's see here. Thought I had 1Ks. These are LEDs. 4.7. $1K. I have like reels of parts. When I lived in Silicon Valley, there's a one of the surplus places had bins of surface mount LEDs, or surface mount resistors and capacitors by the reel for $1 each. Because I guess some companies shut down and they got all their surplus, but they were like pre-marked with like notes from other people's circuit boards. But you know, in my opinion, a 1K resistor, 0603 is a 1K resistor. So I picked up all the common values. I didn't get all the weird values they had. But at a buck a reel, I think I spent $20 or $30, and I have a lifetime supply of like 10Ks and 1Ks and other things. So that came out in my favor in that case.
Here, do you wanna? Are you done or?
I'm gonna add your 1K on the board.
Oh, cool. Okay. Rice is cooking, so.
All right. So and then I'm gonna hand this back to you.
What one? What's the 1K?
It's on your. You crossed out R3.
Oh.
You haven't done R3 on this board, so see in red.
Are you gonna do it on all of them?
Did you do? No, I was just gonna do it on this board.
Oh, okay.
You don't have enough chips to do all the board anyway. You only have. Did you ever buy chips?
I don't remember.
I don't think you bought chips. Go through your Mausers. I don't think you bought. I think you bought them for the other thing, but you didn't buy. You didn't buy a lot of parts for jelly yet.
Okay.
I think. Did you make a Mauser order last week?
I did a long while ago.
I think you only bought like 3 of everything or 6 of the cheap parts. So, I think I'm giving you my processors. No.
Put the thing on the board.
So, did it go here? There it is. All right, 102. Let's circle here. All right.
I don't remember if I got any more. I
Well,
could have sworn I got
let's
a handful of them.
Well, let's check because you only have 1 left after this. So. And I think they came out of my Raspberry Pi thing. Oh my, I'm doing the opposite of this here. I'm like OCD on circuit boards, so I don't like when parts are crooked, so I'm straightening that one out.
Well,
I'm a horrible person.
you're fixing my soldering?
Yeah, I'm straightening parts out that are like off by a little bit because they must be perfect.
Dang.
I put Kapton on this board, and that was the wrong thing to do because it slips around the. I think we had this discussion before with Micah. I need to find a solution. I think silicone rubber was the thing. I need to get one of those. What do they call a trivet or something for pot mat for holding hot pots and pans. So there's that. Your C2 and C3. I'm gonna hand this back to Sarah so I can go back to coding and eating or something. This is all yours now.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
I thought
Why don't you wrap up your stream and then we'll make dinner?
after I show off the jellies.
Okay.
The rice is cooking anyway.
All right. So there's your part.
Go. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
I'll be right behind Sarah.
Thank you. You
Do the things.
are a pizza.
We're
Your
all pizzas
butt
inside.
towel.
Great.
Butt towel. Oh man.
I did not fart.
What?
I didn't fart on
You
that.
didn't poop on the seat?
Nope.
Hi guys. It's an anti-static mat, not especially heat resistant, but enough. Ha! It's a good idea. Yeah, I need to set up my bench. So Mark, let me see this. Oh man, does that look sticky. Yep. That's a chip. So again, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say the rest of these are not going to get done. Oh. Kobe Clips asked how Noodle is. Noodle's being very patient right now. I started working on a bunch of things for him, and then, like, as it goes in the workroom, on a whim, a bunch of stuff that I'm working on will get shelved, and then I'll be doing other stuff. So he's, again, waiting patiently for me to get back to where I was. That's how Noodle's doing. But again, I'm gonna say that 10 of those chips are not going to get put on all of the boards tonight. Maybe they will. In the off chance that I end up doing one of them, or Mark walks me through how to do one myself, I will probably stream that just because it's gonna be interesting. I'll just put it that way. But anyhow, I'm gonna carry you guys over this way and show you the jellies real quick where they're at. So this is the board. This is like part of the nervous system of the bulbous jelly. That's one half of the equation, the jelly equation. There's like the circuitry and the code and the board and the I guess the satellite boards that connect to the tendrils, and then all of the electronic code stuff aside, then there's the mechanical aspect, and that's the thing that I've been kind of banging my head over, because now that I have a couple of them fully assembled, they don't quite move the way that I want them to yet, and I think there's probably an easy fix to make them move the way that I want. I just haven't figured it out in my like brain goop yet. So I'm gonna switch the. Oh, that's not what I. Oh God. Nope. Nope. Is it really just this one? That's bench view. Okay, no, this is the correct one. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna grab you. I have so many cameras going on right now, I don't know what's what. I apologize. Okay, so I'm gonna take the laptop and the camera and everything and go over to my desk, and then I'm gonna hold this up and show you the jellies. Or should I just bring them here? I'm gonna bring them here. Sorry. It's probably easier for the time being. Alright, which means I need to refocus. I'm going to turn off the laptop view, and I guess I can leave the chat for now, and then I'm going to refocus the camera. Autofocus. Okay. And then I'm gonna go grab the gellers. So, if I turn the chat off, you can see them hanging up behind me, right here. I'm gonna grab them one at a time, or all of them at a time, and just show you what they look like. Jellies. This is all the jellies. Ooh, can I even hang these off of the light? It's probably a bad idea. Ooh. Might be able to, actually. Is there anything to hang it off of? No. No. I can get a rubber band, maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna put these down, and I'm gonna grab a rubber band so that I can hang these. But yeah, these are all of the individual prototypes that I've fully assembled so far. Some of them have the nervous system installed, some of them do not. But that's okay. at the point in time when I get one that's fully working and both systems are kind of in unison together, working in harmony, then I'm going to put the instructions up on my blog, but that time is not now. That has not happened yet. Something just fell. Oh god, what fell? Oh, an S-clip. That's okay. There might not be anything. That might not be smart. Alright. Alright, so much for that idea. That's not happening. Okay. But that's okay. Anyhow. Alright, I can't hang these. I'm not gonna try. So, not from the light at least. Alright, so the first iteration of this guy was the yellow one. It doesn't work. There's no pulley system inside of this. This more or less just tests the mechanical fixture of this guy. And the way that the mechanical, like, bones inside of this work is that there's two inner rings, and they can glide down on this track on the inside, away and towards one another, but they can also move collectively together up and down as well. Oh god. And this one's all chafy and bindy because this is just push rod in the center. It's just raw ass push rod with no sheath or anything on top of it. I didn't really have any expectation that this one was ever going to work very well. I just wanted to see if the proportions would actually kind of pan out and that it was going to roughly do what I wanted once I put it together. And there's like the first pulley, that's this like little round thing in the center right here. Like I mounted that in there and kind of played around with it for a while to see if it was going to actually work, and it seemed like it was going to if I just refined some things. So I scrapped this guy with the short tiny little baby tendrils, and I made this red guy next. And this one, I never actually ended up hooking up the mechanical bones. There are these, how do I explain? Ooh, can you see that? Ooh, there are these free bones that kind of poke out the side here. These little nubs that are attached to the mechanical kind of drive system in the center actually mount on the underside of each of these tendrils, and they're the thing that ultimately does the pulling and pushing to make the jelly undulate. I hadn't figured out at this point how to mount them yet, but I did want to test out the nervous system. So you can see these little satellite LEDs mounted to the tendrils, and they again solder to the board at the top, which you can't see because there's a cap over it, but the board that's at the top of this is the thing that Mark just put the what's it called, the brain on the Atmega chip. Oh man. Okay. And then there was this guy. So I attached those bones in this iteration, those little nubs that I showed you that were sticking out. I devised this kind of hinge system. So there are these little like gray little mount doos. There you can kind of see them a little bit better. Wow, the lighting is shit. I apologize for that. Maybe that's a little bit better. But there's basically little hinge bits that attach to each of the tendrils, and that allows them to be connected but also move freely. This is kind of the culprit right now that's giving me grief, because this part, like this bit where the tendril mounts to the bone, because it kind of like moves freely, it's not giving me the type of motion I'm looking for. The tendrils on the big jelly behind me right there were significantly stiffer, and for whatever reason, I kind of just got it right, like right out of the chute. Like it just works. The proportions, the mechanical proportions of all the bones, the stiffness of the tendrils, the way that everything connects together, just facilitated in the type of motion that I was looking for. But this guy is a little bit different. Like the moment that I changed things up a bit, the plastic suddenly doesn't work as well with this shape now that it's scaled. And it chafes a little bit, things bind up, and then the vellum isn't as stiff as the plastic, and it does some weird things. But I can pull on this guy and show you what I'm talking about. Mark, give me your feedback on the gellers.
It looks good.
What? But it doesn't work yet.
I have no clues on that. That's very mechanically complex.
So
you need some kind of rotatey.
So the thing glides. Like, so the pulley system that's on the inside, there's like a rope poking out the... God damn it. There's a rope poking out the bottom. You hold on to the jelly, and when you pull the string, it's actually yanking both the top and bottom inner mounting rings towards one another, which isn't exactly what I want. Mechanically, given what I have installed in there with the pulley system, that's exactly what it's supposed to do, and it does it fine, but it doesn't actually make the tendrils do the thing that I am looking for. Oh man. Oh. But anyhow, oh, Lord Grease says I look tired. Do I look tired? I probably look tired. I am tired. I'm kind of like exhausted, but not because I haven't gotten enough sleep. I did like 100 things today, and I don't know, I have deadlines coming up, and I'm starting to freak out a little bit. But what was I gonna say about this? I guess I can show you what I'm aiming for. The way that this is supposed to work is, can I do this with both hands? Maybe not. So, these two things are supposed to undulate against one another. They're not supposed to move towards and away one another at the same time. Their motion is supposed to be slightly offset. And originally for, I'm gonna say this guy's design, the pulley was in the center. You can kind of see this gray piece kind of like cloaked inside of there. The pulley wheel was in the middle, and I had two ropes, kind of, I guess, anchoring themselves off of the, like a common central pulley, and then there were two strings hanging out the bottom, and you would, I don't know, pull on either one of them to get like counter movement, like movement of the rings against one another. And I tried to do away with one of them because it was causing me issues, and just have like, have the pulley mounted on the top ring. So the pulley is no longer in the center, it's mounted in the actual top ring itself, and the rope is actually wrapped around both, what do you call them? Rings. How do I explain? So it goes up through the bottom, over the pulley at the top, and then back down, and it's connected at one end point to the bottom ring, and the other end of the rope is the thing that you pull on the bottom. So when you're pulling on the rope, you're actually eventually tugging on its other end point, which is this bottom ring. If that makes any sense. I probably explained that terribly. Did that make any sense, Mark?
No.
Fuck. So I'm thinking there's some sort of mechanical solution to this that will make it work better. It's just, I'm gonna probably take one axis of this bone system and model it in my 2D like CAD program, my mechanical motion CAD software that I have that's super helpful, and I'm gonna see if there's something I can do with what I've got to facilitate in differential motion. So what should be happening is this bottom ring should move up first. How do I explain? I'm thinking it's like bottom ring goes up, top ring comes down, and then bottom ring goes down, and then top ring goes back up. So like if they're out, it would be like in, out, in, out, in, out, instead of in, out, in, out. It would be kind of an offset thing like this. Or, I don't know, maybe something like this. Am I making any sense? Vigray? Oh, hey! Hi, Vigray! I'm like... I am still streaming. You missed Mark putting a brain on the brain board.
Rice is done in 8 minutes.
Okay, I've got 8 minutes until I have to start stir-frying rice. I'm getting on it. Shit, okay. So, as I was saying, and I've got 8 minutes until I've gotta go, but, so yeah, these two things need to kind of undulate against each other to make the tendrils do their thing. So this basically needs to do the jelly swish thing that a jellyfish does. Oh, it's hard to do. Oh man. Fuck. Okay. I don't have enough hands to forcibly make this thing do the jelly undulation. Mark, do you want to help me?
What?
Do you want to help me make this thing undulate?
Yeah. I'm in the middle of a thought, but that's fine.
All right, I'm gonna hold this.
Yeah.
Do you want to pinch my rings and make this do
This thing?
Yeah.
Pinch it?
I don't know, make it do, well, you know
Figure it out.
You know how the jelly does the swimming motion?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Do you want to try
Do you want me to
and...
hold the end and you do the undulation?
Sure.
Here, I'll hold that, and now you have 2.5 fingers.
Okay, so... Oh man.
Or do you want me to hold the ends? There you go. So that's what you're trying to do.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Down. Or would it be up? My leaves are getting twisted.
The thing is, these positions are kind of like a sine and cosine. They're out of phase. They're the same wave, but out of phase, like 90 degrees.
Yes.
And the thing is, you need to have some wheel or transfer mechanism that has an anchor at 0 degrees and an anchor at 90 degrees, and then they'll oscillate against each other when you do that.
Oh, one of my leaves is...
And so...
Okay.
You need to figure out how to put some kind of circular mechanism in here. And that could be a wheel that spins at the end or in line with it. It's a cam, just like you did on other things.
Yeah.
So you might have a cam or a wheel somewhere or something that's your reference for these things moving against each other.
I'm thinking, like, you mentioned this, and I've also had the similar thought, like a thing like in a train wheel, like a locomotive train, the steam engine-y thing. Using something like that.
Yeah, and you can do that as a gear. You might be able to do that as a pulley system. There are mechanisms that are analogs for each other that do that. So just keep looking at mechanism videos. You'll come up with a cam, right? An offset cam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a teardrop shaped cam does a similar thing. And so you might be able to just add something somewhere that does that.
I don't know where.
But they look cool. Maybe they don't move and they just are look pretty hanging in your desk.
They're mechanical. They have to mechanical. They have to mechanical, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Like, this one doesn't do anything because the things aren't mounted in the correct place.
It looks epically
So these
cool.
X's that are on the tendril, I don't know if you can see that. You can very faintly see X's. I tried each one of these as a potential mounting point for the arms, and oh god.
Benjamin is signing off.
Oh, I'll see ya.
See ya,
Take care, Benjamin. Something smells good in there.
Yeah, it's rice.
Ooh, it smells good.
Yeah, with a pinch of salt.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I have this base, like, jelly body at this point in time, and it has the capacity to move like the other one does, that's behind Mark, the big one hanging right there. But since it doesn't have a rack and pinion and motors in a way to very specifically control where each of the positions of these rings and where they're at any given moment, it's going to be really difficult to replicate that sort of motion. But I'm going to try and pull it off with the pulley system, like the pulley mixed with the mechanism somehow. And that's the goal. So this is, I think, the most recent iteration that I did, but I modified this guy the other day. I think on Wednesday. Or wait. When the hell did I do this? It doesn't matter. Yeah, so they look cool. I mean, if anything, like, these are going to be nice prototype progress checkpoints. I'm going to probably do a full another assembly of one of these with the nervous system this next week, and hopefully make the changes that are going to get it the rest of the 15% of the way to being done, and then I can drop this instructional on my blog, and then you guys can make one if you want, if you're interested in it. It's actually not that difficult. It just takes some patience and access to a hardware store that isn't Home Depot or Lowe's. You need to find like a real hardware store. So yeah. Maintain fire, A screen. Oh. 6 minutes. Uh-oh. What are you using to model the motion? I'm using, Benjamin asked, oh, but he already signed off. Crap. Okay, I'm going to answer it anyway, but in case anyone's wondering, to model the motion, I'm using a free program that you can download off the internet called Algodoo, which is ALGODOO.
ALGA.
It's O. It's Algodoo.
Algodoo.
I swear.
Okay.
It's not
probably true. It's an algorithm, yeah.
It's Algodoo. It's free. I mean, it's not super powerful, but like if you're me and you just need to wrap your head around how like 2D like shapes are moving in like relative to each other, you can pin things together and then use physics to like watch how propagators drive other shapes and shit. And like I know what I'm talking about. Am I missing anything? Oh, Vi says he loves my swishy hair. Thank you. It sticks out on the sides now. And I'm still not used to the fact that I have bangs. And then Lord Grease still says, I'm still... Do I really look tired? Shit.
It's probably just your eyeshadow.
I have eyeshadow on. They're dark.
You look like a little Czechoslovakian girl.
What?
I don't know. Romanian. Sorry.
See what I have to deal with?
Romanian gymnast.
He says I look like a gymnast.
Maybe you're Romanian.
I'm Polish.
Polish.
Okay. Anyhow. I've been waiting to make a mechanical spider for a very long time. Yes, modeling the mechanical motion, like if you don't want to get fancy and like an actual 3D CAD piece of software, Algodoo's like a great 2D compromise. Like the moment that you need to do anything like more complicated, you then can't. But I mean, even though it's like a radial 3D thing, these individual arms are 2D. It's just they're repeated on like the Z-axis, so I can still get a lot of information by modeling one slice of this in Algodoo, which is what I'm probably going to do tonight, or like before I take the next whack at making one of these. Yeah, and then yeah, I'm gonna go make that rice, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Otherwise, Mark's gonna starve. And
Rice makes itself. We're gonna make a stir fry.
I'm making a stir fry. The lighting. Yeah, it is the lighting. I do have interrogation lighting going.
Yeah.
That's just Mark's bench, I guess.
We'll
Sorry.
work on a better
Sorry about that.
stage quality
We'll get there.
soldering space.
It'll get better. And then I'm still working on improving my bench, and yeah, we'll get a better macro camera. I mean, I hope we get a better macro camera. We'll find one. So that was a failed experiment, but at least we know. Mark, are you sending it back to Amazon?
I might, although it's a great microscope for that, so maybe I'll keep it in my kit of cameras.
You should use it for your thing.
Yeah, it's like, it was $20.
I mean,
It's a thing.
We'll
I have it now, but yeah, I'll find something that's more appropriate for macro.
doing.
Maybe I'll get one of the cheaper GoPro type ones that has a macro function and works with your software. We'll find that.
You should use your GoPro
What?
to stream.
Well, we gotta figure that out. It's complicated. It's a pain in the ass.
We can do
They
that.
can't figure that out, really. So you need a good quality USB camera with macro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good.
So
I don't know if anyone has suggestions or has one. Let us
Yeah.
know, because we'll probably snatch one of those up. We'll share it. Mark's gonna start streaming in the next week, right?
Yeah, I am getting my Prusa MK3 kit, the 3D printer kit, next week, and I'm going to set up a space and I'm going to live stream the assembly. So as many sessions as it takes to finish it, but I'm going to live stream the whole thing. Maybe an hour at a time or something. So
Noodle.
the rice is done.
Okay. Alright. Anyhow, but those of you who are here hanging out with us, thank you as always for watching the, I don't know, our super bohemian lifestyle in our lab. We're gonna go cook the stir fry, right?
Yeah.
Or fried rice. I'm gonna make fried rice. I'm gonna get all greasy
That's
now.
going to be so good.
I'm starving, and yeah, whew, it smells good. But yeah, thank you. I'll show you the progress that I make on these guys in the next week here. I don't know, any suggestions for color? I've done, I don't know, red, magenta, green, and yellow now. And we've got a lot of filament colors, so I don't know. For my next stream, I'm thinking,
Bye, everybody.
what should my next stream be? Oh yeah, oil painting. Okay, this weekend I'm gonna do that oil painting, and I'm gonna talk about oil painting. So until then, I will see you, and as always, thank you for keeping me company and for the suggestions and all the stuff. I send you my love. Cool. Oh, bye guys. Alright, I'll see ya. I'm gonna go feed the Mark. Feed the Mark, because he's gonna starve.